They say age is just a number, but after 65, that number starts to whisper things we're not always ready to hear. What if your body already knows how much time you've got left, and it's been trying to tell you all along? Not with pain or obvious illness, but through subtle, almost invisible signs. Things you do every day without thinking. Standing, sleeping, lifting a fork, remembering a name. Surprising, right? Most folks chase blood tests, fancy supplements, and pricey checkups. But here's the twist. Science is now pointing to a handful of everyday signs, simple body clues, that may quietly predict how many quality years are still in your tank. And no, it's not guesswork. These clues are grounded in hard research, though few ever talk about them. So before you brush off that slight wobble or wave away your shrinking appetite, you might want to keep reading. And if you're serious about aging well, hit that subscribe button now, because what you're about to learn could change how you see your body, your future, and your everyday choices forever. Try standing on one leg for 10 seconds, the old man said, his voice warm but serious. No holding onto the chair. The younger guy, maybe 68, chuckled and lifted his foot like it was some silly party trick. But his wobble betrayed more than his ego. It whispered something deeper. You know what that shake tells me? The old man continued, leaning back in his chair. It tells me how long you might be sticking around. That wasn't fear-mongering. That was science cloaked in wisdom. What he didn't know was that behind that simple act, the one-leg stand, lies a cascade of signals from your brain, nerves, inner ear, muscles. It's like a health orchestra. And balance? That's the conductor. Most people think aging just sneaks up on you, gray hair here, a creaky joint there. But real decline? It's stealthier. It shows up when tying your shoe becomes a balancing act, or when reaching for something overhead feels like tightrope walking. And the worst part? You shrug it off, blaming just getting older. But let's pause. The body never just gives up. It sends signs. Tiny warnings, like losing your balance when you didn't used to. And here's where it gets real. Studies have linked poor balance with a higher risk of falling, yes, but also with heart disease, brain fog, and even shorter lifespans. Yep, just from tipping over a bit. The good news? You can sharpen this skill. Not with expensive gadgets or miracle supplements, but by standing on one leg near the kitchen counter every morning while the coffee brews. It's not just practice. It's prevention. It's how you tell your body, I'm not done yet. That small, wobbly moment becomes a choice to resist, decline, and reclaim control. Because the truth is, balance is the backbone of independence. And when it slips, so does everything else, your confidence, your safety, your freedom. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. There's another signal, one you carry with you every day, hidden in plain sight, right in the palm of your hand. Mind giving this a twist? Henry asked his daughter, holding out a jar of marinara sauce. She grinned and popped it open without effort. He chuckled, but inside, something flickered. Used to be the other way around, he muttered. What Henry didn't know yet is that that little moment, that tiny jar of pasta sauce, was his body speaking to him. Grip strength isn't about bragging rights or how firm your handshake is at a reunion. It's a quiet but powerful pulse check on your vitality. Your muscles, nerves, and even your heart are all involved when you squeeze. And when that squeeze softens, it might be your body waving a subtle red flag. Let's paint a clearer picture. Picture your grip like a battery indicator. Strong grip? You're charged up. Weak grip? Warning lights. Research has shown again and again that declining grip strength is linked to all kinds of serious stuff: heart trouble, cognitive decline, even mortality risk. Yeah, it's that serious. But most people don't notice until they can't open a bottle or carry a grocery bag without switching hands. It's sneaky. It doesn't announce itself with pain or drama, but it quietly drains your ability to stay strong, to recover from illness, to stay independent. It's not about your hands, really. It's what they reveal about everything behind the scenes. But here's the twist. Just like balance, grip strength isn't set in stone. Henry started squeezing a tennis ball every morning, doing push-ups against the wall. even using those little hand grippers during commercials. A few weeks in, things felt different. It wasn't just the sauce jars, it was how he stood taller, carried himself with ease, felt more alive. Grip strength is like a secret key. Improve it, and suddenly your body listens. Your bones, joints, and even your brain respond. It's about holding on, not just to objects, but to your health. Speaking of holding on, there's another sign, a quieter one, that shows up while you're sleeping. Or rather, when you wake up. Frank never used to think much about sleep. Sleep when you're dead, he used to joke, until he started waking up feeling like he was half dead. Dragging himself out of bed at 7 a.m. felt like climbing Everest, even after 8 hours under the covers. But here's the kicker. It wasn't the number of hours, it was the quality of them. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. It's when your body takes out the trash, literally. Brain fog, toxins, achy joints, inflammation not fully cleared, mood swings, hormones off balance. So when Frank finally ditched late-night news binges and started going to bed with a book instead, something magical happened. He woke up energized. No alarm clock needed. The birds outside weren't annoying, they were background music. His coffee tasted richer. His mind felt sharper. And most importantly, he didn't dread the day ahead. That's what real rest does. It doesn't just recharge your phone, it reboots you. Studies show poor sleep quality is tied to memory loss, heart disease, and even stroke. But here's what no one tells you. Feeling groggy isn't just part of getting older. It's a sign your body's repair shop is on strike. And that can change easily. A little morning sunlight, no heavy dinners late at night, shutting down screens an hour before bed. These aren't just hacks. They're medicine. So next time you wake up groggy, don't reach for another cup of coffee. Ask yourself, what did my body not get last night? Because your sleep report card is in how you feel when the sun comes up. And if you're one of the lucky few still waking up refreshed most mornings, hold on to that like gold. It means your body's still humming like a well-oiled machine. But what if your appetite's gone missing? What if food doesn't excite you the way it used to? That brings us to another crucial sign, one that's often overlooked until it's too late. Every morning, like clockwork, Charles would stroll into his kitchen, slice up a banana, toast some multigrain bread, and brew his favorite cinnamon coffee. Simple? Maybe. But that ritual was more powerful than any vitamin pill. What Charles didn't realize was that his steady appetite wasn't just a sign of routine, it was a loud, cheerful, all systems go from his body. You see, hunger, true, consistent hunger, isn't just about needing fuel. It's a clue. It tells you your digestive tract, your hormones, even your emotions, are still in sync. When that appetite fades, something's off, and it's time to listen. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. Many folks brush this off. I'm just not hungry these days, they say, as if it's just a passing phase. But that disinterest in food can be the whisper before the storm. It might mean depression's creeping in. It might point to inflammation, medication side effects, or your body silently fighting something deeper. Think about it. If your fuel tank isn't filling up, how's the engine supposed to run? And if you're not enjoying meals, those little moments of pleasure and connection, what else is slipping away without you noticing? But here's the beauty. Appetite can be rekindled. Charles started walking more, eating with friends, even experimenting with herbs and spices he hadn't touched in decades. Suddenly, food had flavor again. Mealtimes felt joyful, not obligatory. His body started responding, better digestion, more energy, a brighter mood. Because when you nourish your body, it starts to trust you again. So, next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, not am I hungry, but am I present? Because how you eat says a lot about how you're living. And when life throws curveballs, how you handle them matters just as much. Used to be, I'd blow a gasket if the toast burned. Gerald chuckled, watching the plumber mop up water from a burst pipe in his kitchen. But not today. Today, he just nodded, grabbed a towel, and said, "We'll get through it." That change wasn't just maturity, it was resilience. And resilience isn't some abstract Zen state. It's your nervous system's ability to bounce back after chaos. Because let's face it, stress is coming whether you like it or not. But how your body handles it, that's where the magic or the mayhem happens. When stress becomes chronic, it's like leaving your car engine revving in the driveway all night. Eventually, it overheats. Your blood pressure creeps up. Your digestion falters. Your sleep? Forget it. But here's the good news. You can train your body to handle stress differently. Gerald started with 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed. Then he added morning walks, skipped doom scrolling, and made it a point to laugh, really laugh, every day. Bit by bit, his reactions changed. His heart rate dropped. He slept deeper. He even said arguments just don't stick anymore. That calm isn't weakness. It's power under control. It's the difference between spiraling after bad news or adjusting your sails. And studies agree. Those who manage stress well live longer, fuller lives.
Why?
Because calm keeps inflammation low, immunity high, and decision-making sharp. But here's the twist. It's not just about mindset. It's physiological. Your brain, your hormones, your gut, all sync up when stress doesn't rule the room. So if you're the type who can pause, breathe, and choose grace under pressure, you're already rewriting your longevity story. And if you're wondering what happens to the mind during all this, well, that's the next secret we need to unravel. Linda's grandkids thought she had superpowers. Grandma never forgets anything, they'd say. Birthdays, recipes, even where someone left their shoes, her brain was like a GPS and a calendar rolled into one. But Linda didn't chalk it up to luck. She read every morning, solved crossword puzzles like a pro, and made it a mission to learn one new thing every week. What she may not have realized was that those habits weren't just keeping her brain busy, they were keeping her brain alive. Mental clarity isn't just about remembering names. It's a reflection of your brain's resilience, its ability to adapt, grow, and protect. Let's get real. When the mind starts to slow, everything else follows. You misplace keys, sure, but you also start hesitating to go out, engage, participate. And with isolation comes stagnation. That's why early memory slips or word-finding pauses aren't just annoying, they're signals. Signals your brain needs a little more fuel, a little more challenge, a little more play. Because the brain doesn't just age, it responds. Feed it garbage, it fogs up. Feed it purpose, and it lights up. And that's the difference between surviving into your 70s or thriving in your 90s. Linda once said, "If I don't use it, I lose it." And she was right. Learning a new song on the piano, chatting with someone younger, trying a new recipe, these aren't hobbies, they're life extenders. Because the brain wants stimulation like a fire wants oxygen. And every moment you give it, that's you choosing strength over slip. But there's one final secret, maybe the most unexpected one. It has nothing to do with how sharp your mind is, and everything to do with who you're sharing it with. Evelyn's Sundays were sacred. Rain or shine, she and her sister would be on the phone, giggling over childhood memories or swapping the latest family gossip. She wasn't out clubbing or joining marathons, but those conversations, they were her lifeline. What Evelyn didn't realize was that those simple moments of laughter, of listening, of being heard, were some of the best medicine her heart could get. Because staying connected, really connected, doesn't just feel good. It heals. Researchers say it's as powerful as quitting smoking, even more effective than a perfect diet when it comes to living longer. Here's the twist. You don't need a crowd. You need meaning. A neighbor you wave to, a friend you text every week, even the cashier you chat with at the market. Those tiny interactions are threads in a safety net that keeps your mind sharp, your emotions balanced, and your body fighting fit. The science is loud and clear. Loneliness isn't just sad. It's dangerous. It raises inflammation, weakens immunity, and speeds up cognitive decline. But connection? That lights your brain up like a Christmas tree and calms your heart like a lullaby. Evelyn once skipped a knitting group for a month and felt off. Not sick, just dimmed. When she went back and laughed until her cheeks hurt, something inside clicked back into place. That's what connection does. It grounds you, energizes you, and reminds your body, I'm still needed. So the next time you get a call, don't let it go to voicemail. The next time you feel too tired to talk anyway. Because staying connected isn't about being social, it's about staying alive. And if you've made it this far, it's time we pull all these threads together with one powerful, perspective-shifting opening. Now, let's take a moment. How many of those 7 signs did you recognize in yourself? Maybe more than you expected. Maybe you've just realized your body's been whispering clues all along. But here's the beautiful part. It's never too late to listen, and it's never too late to take action. Even the smallest change today could ripple into years of strength, clarity, and joy tomorrow. If this video gave you insight or made you reflect in a new way, give it a like. It really helps us reach more people who need this message. Drop a comment below and share which sign surprised you the most. And what will you start working on from today forward? We read every single comment, and we love hearing your stories. And hey, don't stop here. There's another video waiting for you, linked below in the description and in the card right here on the screen. It dives even deeper into how your body quietly speaks and how you can respond with power and purpose. So make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell, and we'll keep growing stronger together. See you in the next one.